Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. Happy Thursday. Today is the 31st of August. We're glad to have you here. Grateful to have so many people watching us over on Rumble this morning. Let's give it up for Rumble.com. Thank you. As most of you have probably already heard, YouTube sent an email yesterday to the subscribers of my channel and said, would you like your money back? Because we're not going to allow you to subscribe to Austin Peterson anymore. We don't like what Austin Peterson has to say. What do we think about that? We'll talk about what happened in just a few minutes. I will hit that at the top of the show. And I am streaming over on YouTube. They didn't shut me down entirely yet, but we all know that demonetization is just the first step before cancellation. So I will cut that stream here in about 15 minutes as you make your way over to Rumble this morning at rumble.com/AP for Liberty. We'll get to that in just a moment. But big news, Senator Mitch McConnell yesterday froze up again at a press conference when he was asked, ironically enough, are you going to run for office again? And well, he did the same thing that he did back in July, and it doesn't look good. It's kind of painful to watch, and even more painful are possibly the results that it has for our country. But maybe we ought to be asking ourselves, do we really want competent legislators? Do we want them to be good at destroying our country? It's a serious question, and it's something that, stop laughing. It's not funny. We'll talk about that this morning. I'll play that video, and we'll ask the question, is it time to abolish the gerontocracy? We'll get to that in just a few minutes. And then I'm really excited. Remember that 12-year-old little boy, the patriot Jaden, who wore the Gadsden flag patch to school, little, in the tricorn hat, super cute. We talked about him yesterday. Well, of course, he blew up. He went viral because his teacher was trying to tell him that the Gadsden flag had something to do with slavery or the slave trade. Turns out this kid is both based and red-pilled and fought back and won. Great news there. Yes, let's give it up for Jaden. So let's give him a victory lap. Jaden's mom has got it going on, and she's joining us this morning at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. If you're like, Austin, why are you on Central? I'm on East Coast time, or I'm somewhere else in the world. Well, guess what? It's Jefferson City, Missouri, the heart of the United States. We're on Central Time here, baby. The Wake Up America show broadcasts every Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Make sure that you click like on whichever platform that you're watching us on. We are streaming on more than just Rumble, but I have asked all of my supporters of the show, if you're watching us on any of the other social networks this morning, just so you know, they don't like me, okay? They don't like what I have to say. If you like what I have to say and you want to support more economic freedom and personal liberty and views and news that you can use that comes from, well, not quite Jews, but I am married to one, then why don't you do me a favor and make sure you subscribe to the channel that you're watching us on this morning. That way you can get updates whenever we go live. But like I said, every Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central, the Wake Up America show live streams, and it's a great way to start your day, getting your kids ready for school. I will say that sometimes the show is a little PG-13. I will try and tone it down today because Jaden's mom's going to be here, and Jaden might be here. I don't know. But if so, then we want to try and make it as kid-friendly as possible. Okay, it's going to be a great show today. Of course, we've got a great guest lineup as usual. Today's going to be awesome. Tomorrow's going to be even better. I can't wait to preview that. But at 7:30 a.m., of course, we've got Jaden's mom. At 8 o'clock, we've got Camellia Peterson, of course, for her regular Tuesday, Thursday stint. She's going to talk about the gerontocracy. And at 8:30 a.m. Central today, an independent presidential candidate. Of course, I've extended an invitation to anybody who's running for president of the United States these days. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of them. I might get in trouble for that. But Dr. Shiva Ayadurai, I think I got that correct, will be joining us this morning at 8:30 a.m. Central. One, to talk about the return of mask mandates and COVID-19. And two, to talk about why he thinks that Vivek is a snake. Vivek Ramaswamy, the young Indian who's running for president of the United States as a Republican, who's really made a positive impression on me. And I know a lot of people that follow my news have been impressed by him as well. Well, apparently, Dr. Shiva is not impressed, and he's running against him, but he's also got some interesting points to make. So we'll hear from Dr. Shiva today at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. So if you'd like to hear that interview and can't listen to the whole show, make sure you set an appointment this morning on your calendar. Say, I'm going to be back at 8:30 a.m., or I'd like to see and hear Camellia at 8 a.m. So that way you can enjoy whichever interview you'd like to hear. Just so you know, you can be in contact with the show. If you'd like to send us a text message, I do monitor chats, but sometimes I'm going on a freedom rant or something, and you'd like to have your voice heard, there is a text line on the show where you can send us a text and let us know what's going on in your mind. If you think that we're missing big news today, we will cover the hurricane. I've got a couple of clips. Ron DeSantis says, "You loot, we shoot." And I'm like, really? Yeah, my dad actually called me yesterday to be like, "Did you see Ron DeSantis say, you loot, we shoot?" I was like, yes. Remember when they ripped Donald Trump a new one for saying something like that? Anyways, it's racist, which is interesting because why would you think that there's a race tied to theft and stealing? No, why would you think that? But if you think there's news that we can use and that we are not talking about today, or you just want to have your voice heard, you can text the show at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Just an FYI, we will be streaming this morning to YouTube, but I'm asking anyone who's watching us on YouTube today to make their way from YouTube to Rumble at rumble.com/AP4Liberty. So let's go ahead and get into it very briefly. Yesterday, I got a text message from my buddy David who said that Google is asking him if he wants his money back for being a monthly subscriber to the Wake Up America shows. So the show that you're watching right now multi-streams to several social media networks. And here we are. I mean, literally next week is the 1-year anniversary of the Wake Up America show. Thank you. Thank you. So my wife and I are very excited, right? Take a huge risk, go out there and we said we're gonna, try and do this, try and be a professional podcaster, build a merch shop, try and build an audience, and build it up on subscriptions, have maybe build a libertarian daily wire with, documentaries and maybe one day feature films. So a lot of you invested in that and said, well, I'm going to support Austin Peterson, but I want to do it through YouTube, right, to have that Google subscription. But here's the thing. A lot of people, when they heard yesterday that we were being demonetized, a lot of people said, hey, listen, this is terrible. We're sorry. How can we help? And Rumble stepped up. I'm going to tell you about how amazing they were yesterday in just a moment. But a lot of people stepped up and said, hey, Austin, what can I do to support the Wake Up America show? And we always said we were going to not put all of our eggs in one basket. I didn't invest all my time and energy into YouTube for just this reason. I'm not stupid. I know that big tech doesn't like what I say on this show, which is funny because it's like, I'm not like Nick Fuentes or Kanye West or even Alex Jones or something like that. You may like those guys, right? I understand. But mostly on this show, it's like, a little edgy, but it's mostly informative and fun and funny and tries to be a little family friendly. Like, again, PG-13 for the most part. But that don't matter because they don't like it when people are saying things like resist mask mandates. You should be free to choose what you do with your body, provided you harm no one else. They don't like that stuff. They don't like it when I have people on like Jaden's mom saying that they should resist tyranny and that the Gadsden flag isn't a racist symbol and that the Democrats are the real racists and that Ayanna Pressley is the modern face of the KKK, as Vivek Ramaswamy so articulately said lately. Right? They don't like that. So I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I built up a Rumble audience. I built up a YouTube audience. I stream it on Facebook. I stream it on YouTube. I stream it on Twitter. I stream it or X.com. Excuse me. Sorry, Elon. And I stream it as many places as I can because I figured that this day would come, and it eventually did. Now, I always had a monthly support, a way to support the show monthly on my own website at wakeupamericashow.com/support. That way I would always be cancel proof when things like this happen. But many of you chose to support me through YouTube at $2.99 a month, or some of you $9.90 a month, $9.99 a month, or something like that. And we do offer perks and benefits for channel members, and that will be extended to the people who are here on Rumble as well. A 20% discount at apforlibertyshop.com. I see some of you are already over there making purchases of coffee and awesome t-shirts and things to show your support. I'm grateful for that. And some of you are monthly subscribers here on Rumble, and I appreciate that. And I don't anticipate the same kind of problems with Rumble that I did with YouTube or with Facebook, or I'm not quite sure. The X, maybe. That's a little dubious. We could talk about Linda Yaccarino and things like that another time. But always I had my backup plan at wakeupamericashow.com/support. So when I got emails yesterday from my monthly subscribers who said, hey, listen, YouTube has told me that they want to know if I want a refund of my money for supporting you. What can I do to support you? Well, I told them, well, this is what you can do. But not everybody was like that. Right. A lot of people jumped down my throat and said, hey, Austin, this is what you get for taking a risk and quitting your job and going out there and, and for some stupid dream and betting on a sick horse like YouTube and all this kind of stuff. Keep in mind, like, my wife and I are not rich, right? We're not millionaires. Okay. So, we're not the Steven Crowders of the world. We're not the huge guys. We're not Tim Pool, right? We're not making millions of dollars doing this. This is a big risk for us, right? I've taken a big risk with our family, with our finances, and with our future and our ability to build a family with this. And here is a guy who is pooping on my dream and saying that, oh, you bet on a sick horse. That's what you get for with YouTube and stuff like that. It's like, we don't have the option to just say, oh, we're going to bet it all on Rumble, or we're going to bet it all on Facebook or X or something like that. We don't have that luxury. Okay. We have got to take an approach of spreading out our resources into many platforms and saying, hey, we're going to take a risk, a measured risk on each platform. Well, when YouTube was cut yesterday in monetization, that takes a significant chunk of my family's income and our ability to pay our health insurance because we have to pay it directly because we don't work for somebody else. I understand these are the risks you take. But why would you poop all over somebody who's, one, trying to chase their dreams, two, trying to do good, spreading the ideas that we both care about, and three, hasn't put all their eggs in one basket or bet on one horse, who's actually stepped up and said, well, I'm going to be smart and I'm going to spread my resources around and, invest in multiple platforms. Well, that's just haters, people who aren't willing to take risks in these lives. Remember, in order to accumulate, you must first speculate. Right? You have to take risks in this life. This is a conversation my wife, Stephanie, and I have all the time because she's so risk averse. And in order for me to be successful, especially as a man, right? There's no sugar mama waiting out there for men like us to go out there and who's going to take care of us from cradle to grave, right? There's no opportunity to be housewives for us men. 98% of us, some of us will, the soy boys, the cucked, right? Perhaps they might be stay-at-home dads, but we all know that she's cheating on you. FYI. But we men have to go out and take risks. We have to be entrepreneurs. We have to go out there and speculate in order to accumulate, which is why I was so happy when a representative from Rumble reached out to me yesterday and said, hey, Austin, we saw what happened. We'd like to set you up here over at Rumble. We'd like to feature your account. We're going to give you the green check, and we're going to set you up with a channel, and we're going to support the Wake Up America show. Thank you, Rumble. I don't know if it helped for the fact that I invested in them a year ago, but it's not like a big investment or anything. Like I said, I'm not a rich guy, but I bought some shares of Rumble a year ago in order to show my solidarity with this platform, because I do want to see free speech platforms, because we know that big tech, Susan Wojcicki and others at YouTube, they don't want content like this. So here's what we're going to do, symbolic. I'm not saying that I'm never going to stream on YouTube or I won't upload to YouTube again, but I'm taking my audience from YouTube. So what I'm going to do right now as a symbolic gesture is to say that if you're watching us, if you're one of the 16 people I see watching us on YouTube right now, I'd like to invite you to come on, join us over at rumble.com/AP4Liberty. That's rumble.com/AP4Liberty. Join us over there right now so that the revolution can continue, and we will sign off from YouTube and say goodbye. If you'd like to watch the rest of the show this morning, you can watch it exclusively here over at rumble.com/AP4Liberty with the rest of the Cantina crew.